Focus on B, the series where I spent about 20 minutes playing and talking about a game that I've got some thoughts on. This is Turok 2. Hold on, wait, what year is this? Clearly, I should just be playing the Night Dive remaster, right? No, I'm playing the original. I am upscaling it to make it look nicer, but I'm playing the original. Why? Because I want to use this as a way to illustrate a couple points that I want to make. Because the conventional complaints regarding basically any FPS that isn't on PC prior to, I guess, the PS2 or maybe even the 360 is the typical issues of low FOV, low frame rate, shitty graphics, shitty controls. You know what? I don't think any of those things are major issues with this game on its original format, the N64. Well, the FOV could stand to be a bit higher, but as long as you play it in 4x3, it's not that bad. I tried playing it in like stretch 16:9 just to see what it would look like. Yeah, that was bad. Even though it's kind of awesome to see it in proper 16, but whatever. That's what the remaster is for. And the controls too. Honestly, with the way I've configured these on my keyboard, they're totally fine. Like, really. I think they hold up just fine. Like, the only issue is this whole thing where the fucking camera snaps, but you don't have to look around that often, and when you do, you're usually stationary anyway. So, that's not the issue. The game looks fine. The game sounds amazing. Dude, the soundtrack is fucking killer. Listen to this shit. Fuck me, that's good. That's really good. So, what are my actual complaints with this game that are not technical? Because, frankly, I think they're kind of overstated. You know, the controls bad. No. I think this shit controls just fine. You know what it is? It's the level design. And you probably saw this coming, actually. So, if you've seen my Hexen video, I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything.
Distress beacon activated.
Oh, I almost did. There you go. We're gonna talk about that. So, if you saw my Hexen video, you'll know that I have this kind of game that I call the first few levels and then never touch it again, or never complete it, at least. Yeah, this game kind of qualifies. Why? Well, simple. Because I needed a guide and several playthroughs to beat the first level, this one. In fact, you are not going to see even half of the objectives getting completed in this video. 20 minutes is not enough for what this game demands from you. What the fuck? Can I not? I guess not. Okay, then. So, do I have a problem inherently with games having a bunch of objectives? No, not necessarily. But these levels are designed in a very weird way because they're almost linear, but the objectives are spread out in a non-linear fashion. So what ends up happening is you'll just run through the level, having a good-ass time shooting dinosaurs, and the game's actually really fun, looks great, sounds great. Yeah, I think it still looks pretty damn good, to be honest. But, I mean, look at the texture quality. I know I'm playing this at a higher resolution, but you can't up-res it. You can up-res the textures, but I'm not doing that right now. This is just as it... Fuck me, those animations, too. That's usually what makes N64 games age like milk. The animations, everything looks like it's made of cardboard. That looked very lifelike. Not realistic, but it looked good, you know? Really smooth. So that's not it, right? The problem is the structure. So as you can see, we have these keys, right? You gotta collect like 5 of these, I think, and then you can unlock the next stage. And not only that, but what you have to do in order to actually progress through any of these levels is to go into your mission status and check. Port of Ada. Activated 1 of 3 distress beacons, rescued 0 of 4 children. I think those are the only missions, though I swear to God there was one more thing to do. Oh yeah, you also have to defend something. I have no idea. Basically, there's like this wave. Oh, fuck me. A wave of enemies shows up at some point, and you have to defend a point from those enemies. I've enabled auto-aiming, but it's kind of weird and inconsistent, and doesn't work quite as well as Turok 3. That game is definitely a more streamlined experience. In fact, I might do a video on that game as well at some point. And probably the original again, and not the Night Dive version. And again, the Night Diver, absolute fucking beasts, right? What they do is stupid good. But, you know, I want to show off the original version. Although maybe I shouldn't be upscaling it then, because it's kind of, it's not correct to do that. But, fuck it. I'm not going to make you look at a 240p game. I've done that before. and I don't want to do it again because I realized, well, it's my duty to present these games in the best way I can, so, you know, take some shortcuts. Although, I have enabled the high-res mode, which as you can see, it makes the HUD elements look way nicer, otherwise they're all, like, huge and low-res. So I gotta give the developers credit for being, you know, I mean, this was made by Acclaim, right? This was partially, at least I imagine, made by some of the same people who made Revolt, which is, like, the best game ever made. Okay, I haven't actually checked the credits. I wouldn't know for sure if it's the exact same team, but it's still Acclaim. Whatever. Pistol. Yes, the voice acting's fine too. Oh my god, what is that glow effect? Real-time lighting as well. I have no complaints from a technical standpoint for 1998, right? This shit is fucking insane. You know, this was the same year as Unreal, and I have to say, this is quite comparable. It's not Unreal, of course it isn't, but it's damn close. It's better than Quake 2 in the visual department. Yeah, better than Quake 2's the N64 version as well, which I will be covering on this show alongside this, actually. In fact, it's the next thing I'm going to be recording as a little back-to-back, because why not? Oh, you can only use your melee weapons here. Look, the animation is great, but the problem is that it's so hard to enjoy a game like this, because you can just never relax. You can never be sure. The only way I can imagine myself properly having a good time with this game, and yes, I know that the Night Dive version has these little waypoints that help out, but they just kind of show them to you, but they don't necessarily tell you how to get there, and that's a bit of a problem. You know, I'm just gonna fucking melee this guy to death. I literally don't care. I'm playing on easy mode because screw it. It's a game from the late 90s, which means easy mode might as well be normal mode, and normal mode might as well be impossible mode. Actually, no, it's not that hard. I was playing on normal mode before I recorded this, and I decided to switch. And, you know, I don't know why I did. I think I just did it just, you know, to make sure to play the video plays out more smoothly, because honestly, I wasn't losing that much health. And I'm not great at this game or anything. I got some practice with Rage Wars from that video I made a while ago. Man, I can't believe I put so much effort into that. Like, I genuinely, like, went totally all out with the editing and stuff, and being super thorough with each stage. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, where was I? Yeah. So, this is not a conventional first-person shooter, and it amazes me there are some people who think that shooters used to be simpler. No. I mean, yes, they didn't have all these XP systems and online components and whatever the fuck newer games have. I don't know. I think I've officially reached the point where I am the old man who does not recognize the Pokemon, because I was browsing Reddit, as a terrible person would, and I saw a couple screenshots of some games, and I had no idea what I was looking at. I genuinely didn't know, and no one had, like, put the name of the game. I was like, what the fuck is that? It clearly looked like a newer game, and I didn't know. Like, usually I'd spot any game just like that, but no, I had no idea what I was looking at. It was like some grass, some very realistic grass with, like, this Asian theme. Like, there was some buildings which looked very, you know, ancient Japan, feudal Japan. So it wasn't Sekiro, though. I don't think so. It was in first person, and it had, like, this very clean HUD. You know what I mean? Tip of my joystick type shit, right? I'm sure you could just ask someone and they'll tell you, but it's crazy. It's like I've lost touch. And that's okay. Those things are absolutely horrifying, those children. Their faces are just the creepiest fucking thing. But anyway, so, oh, motherfucker. Does this game have a live system? I think it does. Now, fortunately, the respawns are... No, hold on. Is it gonna give me a fucking cutscene where, like, I have to listen to that big titty freaking alien talk? Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm not gonna have to. Except now I'm all the way back here. Actually, no. Yes, I understand this game is a map system. Now, this thing is a godsend. Also, I'm so glad that the way they've decided to render it, instead of using... See, it's clearly not rendered as a sprite. It's rendered as just flat geometry. Because look at how clean it looks at a high resolution. You know, because if this were a sprite, it would look like, you know, pixely or blurry. It wouldn't look nice. But this looks really nice, just because it's clearly being rendered as actual shapes in the game engine. That's sick. And you're gonna fucking need that thing. It does highlight some points of interest. You're gonna need it so that you can... Oh, wait a second. No. I need to go a different way now so I can free the child. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm actually gonna go somewhere else. Just to... Okay, no. I'm actually gonna have to keep going back in the direction that I was. But anyway. So the reason why this is a problem for me is just because I can't... I cannot get it out of the back of my mind. It's just like, okay, I understand that I'm not going to be able to complete everything, and that just doesn't make sense. And I don't care for 100% completion. The problem is that this game demands that kind of completion for a simple playthrough. You have to get everything, otherwise the game boots you back to the start of the level and goes like, fuck you, you know, mission failed or whatever, do it again. Like, not everything all over again. It doesn't like, what the fuck? Wait, there was an opening here, wasn't? No, there wasn't. Hold on, I'm stupid. It just tells you to go back, which is like, that's even worse, because then you've lost the flow of the stage. You don't really know what's going on. So what ends up happening is that you just want to give up and do it all over again, or maybe just, I don't know, not even bother. And this is something that no amount of higher resolutions and slight quality of life improvements can fix. Like, Night Dive Studio does not fix that, right? All they did was add some waypoints, but they don't necessarily tell you exactly where to go, and that's, I'm not saying that though that's the only way to tell me where to go, but it's like, well, when the levels are this big, yeah, and that's the worst thing, that I adore the way this game looks. I love these locations. It's the kind of world that I would love to explore more, but the game that is presented here, it makes it very difficult for me to want to do that because of its structure and design. I mean, I guess I make my own games now, so what if I just steal these levels but streamline the environment? I'm sure someone has ripped the geometry. I want to get the fucking ammo. Oh wait, I can't because I already have full ammo. Okay. See, the character runs plenty fast, the controls are nice, everything is fine. It's just that now I'm going to have to do a bit of backtracking, and that's fine. Then I'm going to have to do some more backtracking, I think. And then I'm going to have to, I'm probably going to end up missing one of those kids, or one of those distress beacons, or wherever you call them. You get what I mean? Let's see. Oh, there's a dude right here. But hold on, what was I saying before I died? I think I was talking about how this game, it came out the same year as Unreal, and while it isn't quite as good looking, it's still super appealing, especially for a console game, although Unreal has obviously aged a bit better just by virtue of the fact that it's on PC. But this is on PC as well. Now, actually, no, this game was on PC. The first two Turok games were on PC. They were a little bit different, though. And that's actually what Night Dive used as a base. That's why it took him longer to get to Turok free. Look at his fucking face! Jesus. That's why it took him longer to get to Turok free, because that game did not have a PC version. It was just a console exclusive. They had to basically, well, I don't know, they had to port it somehow, right? And then go about making it nice and shiny and polished, which they did. And that game, honestly, has aged super well, just because, well, it's just a linear, straightforward shooter. I've actually beaten, actually no, I haven't beaten it, but I've definitely gotten a lot further in that game on my own entirely, with just, hold on, what was I gonna say? When I talk, my brain becomes a Pentium or a Celeron. Which one was slower again? I don't remember. Neither of them are, well, actually no, the Pentiums used to be, yeah, it was a Celeron that was, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point is that I didn't need a guide to go through Turok free. This, let me tell you, this is going to be a pretty uneventful, at least in terms of what I'm doing in the game, it's going to be a pretty uneventful episode because I don't know what I'm doing, and I've never known what I was doing. Oh, wait a second. That's a checkpoint. Ah, I now remember where to go. Okay, I think what I have to do, and I know, yes, map. It doesn't help that much, though, because, for one, it's kind of hard to tell what areas are below or above, and also, it's too abstract. I'm not expecting, I guess it would be a little bit much to expect a map that's similar to like a modern open world game, of course, because, to be fair though, it's not like it would have been impossible. Maybe not in real time updating the way that this game does it, you know, like here, like this, maybe that would not have been possible for it to be fully textured and such, because, I mean, it's an N64 game, but maybe they could have just had it be a separate screenshot that you can look at or something, or not, you know, screenshot, like a separate image. There's compression methods, right? There's ways to get that shit on there. If they were able to fit freaking digitized speech into this game, which is something that very few N64 games, and like full sentences, not just like one or two voice lines, no, like actual speech, dialogue for cutscenes. That's pretty freaking impressive for the medium, considering that you can barely fit anything on these things. I mean, this game's like, what, 12 megabytes or something? Think about that for a second. Like, the concept of a AAA shooter used to be 12 men. Oh, fuck. Okay, these guys are actually really easy to fight. You have to just switch to your Talon. There you go. My favorite block party song. And you just break them apart. Those guys are really good anyway. So, flip over to switch and keep on moving through. And this, what I'm doing right now is like the bare minimum. And I don't even know what I'm doing. And that's the thing, that these environments are awesome. Like, it doesn't even look that encumbered by the whole N64 fog. I would love to just keep exploring, but the problem is that if I want to explore more, I'm then forced to basically research how to do this stuff, how to get to any one particular part, because I'll get to what I feel is the end of the level and think, ah, right, nice, I'm done with this level. And the game will be like, oh, you missed a kid, sorry. And it's like, oh, god damn it. And that's the thing, I have so much goodwill. Look at that fire, that looks really good. Like, I have so much goodwill towards this game because I want to really, really like it, but I can't say that, oh, it's my favorite shooter on the N64. It's not. In fact, it's not even, well, I guess your favorite shooter on the N64 wouldn't be saying much because there's not, well, there's a decent amount of pretty good shooters on the system. It definitely, I think it, ironically, despite the larger install base of the PS1, I think the N64 did handle shooters a bit better because, well, analog stick, and 2, it was just more powerful, right? I mean, I never want to play fucking Medal of Honor on the PS1. Now, granted, Quake 2 on PS1 is pretty decent, actually. I think I actually featured that in one of my videos. Okay, there's no collectibles here, so I must be going the wrong way, which means I gotta keep going this way, and then I will be fine. Yeah, of course. This is actually a section that I have not been to. Yeah, I haven't visited this part. I remember it because of the jump scare, and now I'm out of ammo. Frick. Okay, the gunplay is actually not super remarkable, but to be honest, how exactly do you make... Oh, I am Turok. Nice. I'm not really sure how you make, like, properly engaging gunplay, to be fair, other than just making it sound really good, which... Ultra hell, fuck yeah. Which, to be fair, that could... I imagine that was a challenge for the N64 and its limited storage space to... Well, actually, no. How big a file is doesn't determine how punchy the sound is. I mean, it'll determine the quality of the sound, sure, the clarity, but... Actually, sometimes I find that more distorted gun sounds tend to make for some really punchy gun feel. I mean, like, you know, Doom, where like every gun sounds great in that game, despite it being like 2 kilobytes or something of a game. You know, okay, it's not 2 kilobytes, but it's pretty freaking small if it can flip on a floppy disk. You know what I mean? So that's pretty impressive. Ah, there's a dude. Look, the enemies are awesome too. They move so fluently. They got these different attacks. They got these awesome death animations. And unlike some other games where the death animations for enemies will be a little bit vague as to when you've actually killed them, so you end up unloading way too many bullets into them, here it's very clear when you've dealt the finishing blow. Like, look, okay, I'm gonna shoot him, and okay, he is obviously dead, right? You can even pick your arrows back up, which is pretty sick, because it's a bow and arrow. Damn, this game was ahead of its time. It's got a character with a bow and arrow. Before, okay, well, actually, it would have to be a crossbow, but whatever. You think crossbows were even... When was the first crossbow invented? I would have to look that up. But anyway, health pickups, everything's fine. It's just... Ah, damn. This is the kind of thing that really makes video games complicated, because you can have everything working right, except something that you can hardly describe, and that would be the overall meta game structure, and you're just thinking like, wow, I really want to have a great time, because if I right now were to forget about the way I'm supposed to be playing this game, I would be fucking having a blast, just running around these awesome, beautiful, huge environments, with some fog, because it is N64, but still. And then I would also be able to, no problem, play the Night Dive version and be like, fuck yeah, definitive. Well, it still is the definitive way to play the game, but the reason I'm playing this one is just to point out that what they've done doesn't necessarily fix the problems that are underlying. I mean, yeah, it alleviates some of them, but it doesn't suddenly make the game more linear and more, you know, easier to parse, easier to understand. And it's not some fucking puzzle game. There's just a lot of shit to get. It feels like a shooter that Rareware would have made, except ironically, Rareware's actual shooters are generally straightforward, funnily enough. No, GoldenEye has like some mission-based stuff, and I think Perfect Dark is like that. You know what? I've never played Perfect Dark. I never really got the hubbub for it. Like, I never really figured out why exactly. It seems very ambitious for the platform. It looks like it runs like dick. I mean, it does run like dick. That's just kind of how it works. I mean, look at this game. It looks pretty freaking good, and it's in the high-res mode, and, well, relative to what the system thinks is high-res, of course. And it runs all right. It ain't no 60 FPS. So, to be fair, GoldenEye ran at 60 frames, so, you know. Power cell required. I could have sworn last time I played through this, I had one. Oh man, that's unfortunate. So basically now I'm just gonna have to scavenge the whole level, and maybe there's some fun factor to that. You know what? That's fine. I love yelling about 20-plus-year-old. How old is this game now? Let's see, 1998. So it'd be 27, I think, right? Because there's 3 years until it's 30 years. Yes, that means it's 27 years old by the time I'm uploading this video. There's the power cell. So, of course, this is all irrelevant, but it's fun, right? It's fun to discuss these kind of things and try and find the fun factor in something that is a little bit, that kind of occludes it in a way. So, do I like this game? Oh, I do, actually. I just don't play it a lot because it's so fucking annoying to play. Although, it's kind of part of the charm, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I could use this as inspiration for something else. It definitely wouldn't be the level design that would be... man, I love these environments. Like, I just want to fucking steal all these, and I could do that, though. I could make, like, a 2D side-scrolling version of this, like, styled after something like Turok, but with melee. Well, actually, you do have ranged weapons, clearly. Or make it kind of like this one game, Nerdcube did some videos on it. It was called Incursion? Or was it Incrusion? It's this really great, super smooth, I think it was a Flash-based side-scrolling shooter where you use the mouse to like look around, and it's like super cool and really well, very well animated. Everything was fluid as hell. So I don't know. I might do that at some point if I can figure out how to get my mouse to talk to the freaking game, or I could just make it use the keyboard. It's fine, honestly. Anyway, so those are my ramblings. This was Turok 2. I think this game is awesome, but the execution is just strange and hard to approach. But frick it, I don't know. Go play the Night Dive version anyway. But the point is that both versions kind of have the same issues underneath. Because it really isn't that hard to control, and really isn't that hard to look at either. It looks pretty fucking good. Anyway, this has been Focus on B, the series where I take a look at a game that, well, I probably should have discussed this during the video, but yeah, basically the BK Play series is kind of going to be not around for a little while, so this is going to be the main series from now on, and therefore it makes no sense for me to say shit like, oh, that I wouldn't want to Let's Play, because I'm not going to Let's Play it anyway. But it's basically Focus on B. It's a series where I spent about 20 or something minutes talking about and playing a game that I've got some thoughts on, and I really want to share them. So, this has been Turok 2, 1998, N64. I'll see you guys next time.